Ohio State wide receiver Jeremiah Smith should be favored to win the Heisman, and in today's video, I'm going to supply you with the evidence needed as to why I think that Jeremiah Smith should be the odds-on favorite to win the Heisman and why he is my Heisman pick for this upcoming season. So, without further ado, let's just dive right in here. So I really have 3 points here as to why Jeremiah Smith should win the Heisman Trophy. Number one, because of how good Ohio State's going to be this year. Number two, because of his insane talent and production last year. And number three, because the field of play to win this Heisman Trophy, in my opinion, is a little bit more open than it usually is. Starting off with number one here, Ohio State is going to be an elite team this year, and I think they were an elite team last year, even with going 10-2. I mean, if they would have ended the season right there, that was still in a very good team, in my opinion. Of course, they went on and won the national championship game, but just like last year, I think that this upcoming year, you're going to get another great Ohio State team, and part of that is going to be, I really do believe in their starting quarterback now, Julian Sayin. Last year, you had Will Howard, Quinshon Judkins, and Travion Henderson, three guys who really liked to run the ball. Now, Howard became more of a pocket passer himself, but he carried the ball 105 times for 26 yards. So, I mean, it wasn't great, the yards that he was picking up, but he was running a lot more. And obviously, you had Judkins and Henderson who averaged, when you combine their stats, over 2,000 rushing yards for both of them just over 1,000 rushing yards. And I mean, it was really a run-heavy offense, and then they passed the ball, a bit as well, which makes it even more impressive the way Jeremiah Smith just absolutely took hold of the receiver room and had 1,315 yards and 15 touchdowns in just his freshman season, which is still crazy to me. I'm not going to sit here and act like they just ran the ball 85% of the time. No, they obviously threw the ball a lot. I mean, Will Howard threw for over 4,000 yards. I just think that this is opening up for Julian Sayin to throw the ball a lot more. Julian Sayin is a pocket passer. He's not a guy who's going to run the ball all that often. Their running back room, I think, is a downgrade this year. And I think that means that they will just be throwing the ball all that more often. So it will be right there for Jeremiah Smith. Jeremiah Smith is going to have his opportunities. It's not like, he's being hindered by this team. This team is actively helping him. And, by the way, he's the most talented receiver to really ever come out of anything. He's really just, in my opinion, the most talented receiver to ever play college football. In my opinion, he will be by the end of it, and I think he is it now. So, I mean, I already told you his stats. Everyone knows his stats. But I think that Ohio State is going to help him and not hinder him. Number two reason here, I mean, just the caliber of player he is. We already really kind of bled into this before, but I mean, again, to say his stats again, 1,315 passing yards, averaging 17 yards per carry with 15 touchdowns on 76 receptions. It was just crazy what he was doing, and he even added 47 rushing yards to that as well, and a touchdown on the ground as well. So I mean, just the caliber of player he is. He was a 101 rated player on 24/7 Sports. I mean, you don't go higher than 100, and 24/7 Sports said this kid is so special. He is above 100. He's a 101. And that's a one of one position that he has right there. So really, how talented he is talented enough to win multiple Heismans. Yes, I said it. I don't think anyone has really said it. He is talented enough to win double digit Heisman. He could win it this year, and he could win it next year. Really, he definitely could. And honestly, he had a case last year. He really did. He had better numbers than Travis Hunter did by like a lot. And it wasn't really particularly close. If you asked someone last year, who would you rather have, Jeremiah Smith or Travis Hunter, in terms of wide receiver standpoint, it's 10 times out of 10 going to be Jeremiah Smith. So, and that's another thing that I want to get into here really quick. It's not shown, but really, I think that players have started to buck the trend with the Heisman, this stigma on only quarterbacks win the Heisman. It's a quarterback award, really. We have only had 5 wide receivers win the award in total, But if you go back the last 5 years, we've had two wide receivers win it. Obviously, Travis Hunter and then Devonta Smith in 2020. So, I mean, really, we've had some wide receivers start to win it recently, two out of the last 5 years, which is a lot better than what it has been. So I do think that the committee is obviously open to electing a wide receiver to win the Heisman, and I think it's one of those things where you don't necessarily have to be a quarterback anymore to win it. Where I think that was definitely the case even 6, 7 years ago. So, and that brings me to the final point here is that there really isn't a quarterback, in my opinion. Now, hit me in the comments, tell me I'm wrong, but in my opinion, I don't really think that there's a quarterback out here that can really challenge him the way that other people have been challenged before. If you look at the odds, you have Arch Manning number one. By this is by consensus. Then Carson Beck's up there, Garrett Nussmeier, DJ Lagway, John Mateer, Cade Klubnik, Drew Aller. Those guys are up there. Jeremiah Smith is, from what I read, just ahead of Drew Aller, right behind Cade Klubnik in the odds market, somewhere around plus 1,000 to plus 1,100. So, that shows where people really view him. He's the first non quarterback. He's the highest non quarterback, I should say, in odds markets, but he still has about 6 or 7 quarterbacks that are ahead of him in odds markets. And I think that that's really, we can go through it case by case if you want me to, but I think I'll just do that anyway. So you have Arch Manning here at the top. Arch Manning is a guy who his most meaningful game that he's played thus far in his collegiate career was against Mississippi State, who in a lot of people's opinion is right there with Purdue as the worst Power 4 team out there, and he played a couple cupcakes as well. So, I mean, he's an incredibly talented quarterback, but this is his first year really starting. I mean, give him that SEC schedule and see what he does. If he is still a Heisman candidate after that, I'll eat crow for that. But I just don't think that he's going to escape that and look flawless. You look at pretty much every quarterback coming out that has started his first year in college, it's very up and down. Really, every quarterback is very up and down. Case in point, let's just go right back to last year. DJ Lagway, who's on this board right here, had double-digit interceptions, had either, well, correct me if I'm wrong, but he had either 9 or 10 interceptions, and, he showed a lot of flashes, but it wasn't all that people really make it out to be. And I mean, I just don't think that Arch Manning's going to have a perfect season like he needs to have in order to win the Heisman. And then let's just go right to DJ Lagway. DJ Lagway, in my opinion, needs to clean up a lot about his game. He looked a lot like Lenore Sellers when he first burst onto the scene, where, yeah, there was a lot of accuracy issues, and there were some turnover issues. And I think that DJ Lagway, by the end of it, he's going to really progress through all of it. He could possibly win a Heisman in a year or two. But I just don't think it's going to be this year. Garrett Nussmeier, same thing, clean up the turnovers. But, dude's a statue back there in the pocket. He got to be able to move. Carson Beck coming off of the injury. There are so much uncertainties with all these people. John Mateer going from an independent school, basically, in Washington State to a powerhouse at Oklahoma who has a killer schedule. And the thing about a quarterback is they have to lead the team. They have to do all this. They have to do so much to make it right. Jeremiah Smith, all he needs to do is have the ball tossed up to him, and he's going to catch it pretty much every time, be that they're up 49 or down 49. I don't think Ohio State's ever going to be down by 49 points. But Jeremiah Smith, always room for improvement there, and a loss is never really going to be on him. Whereas, a John Mateer is going to get knocked out if he goes 7-5. If Ohio State went 9-3, yeah, no one's really winning any awards there, but Jeremiah Smith's out here with, 1,500 yards, and I just think that Jeremiah Smith has a much cleaner shot to the Heisman because the quarterbacks, there's so much uncertainty here. I mean, I just went through a couple right there. So much uncertainty, and I just don't know if those quarterbacks have what it takes right now. Obviously, a lot of them have a ton of talent, but none of them are Jeremiah Smith talented. So that's really all I have for today's video, midweek video. Hoping you guys really help out the channel by subscribing here. Last thing before I go here is ask you to subscribe. I waited to the end of the video so that y'all could hear my unfiltered thoughts on why I think Jeremiah Smith should win the Heisman. If you agree with me, Let me hear it down in the comments. If you like the video, and as always, please do subscribe. It really does mean a lot to a small channel like mine. And I mean, if you haven't already, go ahead and watch my last video. My last video did pretty well. It is on the Big Ten as a whole, three teams who are overrated, underrated, and justified. So go ahead and watch that video. I'll link it down below. Aside from that, I'll see you guys in the next one.